Charlie and I grew up together. 25 years together. But a fire broke out on the eve of the wedding. He risked his life to save me. But unfortunately I died. He also broke my leg. 20 years later, I reincarnated and met him again. Charlie became a lame uncle. Because I never married. Sadness turns hair white overnight. And I have no regrets following. But I want to rekindle my relationship with him, but there are many obstacles. It was the night before the wedding. I have a vision of happiness tomorrow. Fell asleep early. Me in my dream. Walking with Charlie in a place full of flowers. He smiled gently. Put a beautiful wreath on me. Sudden. A pungent smell of cigarettes pulled me back to reality from my beautiful dream. I opened my eyes blearily. The house was filled with smoke. I choked and started coughing violently. What's going on? It's on fire. I muttered to myself in panic. Jumped out of bed. I fumbled to open the bedroom door. Heat wave is coming. The living room is already a sea of fire. The flames jumped wildly, devouring furniture and curtains. I frantically searched for my phone. Want to call for help. But I found my phone on the coffee table in the living room. Can't get close at all. I tried to rush to the door. The fire has completely blocked the passage. Charlie, I called out his name desperately. Even though I know he's not around right now. In the roar of flames. I heard the neighbors shouting and the sirens of the fire trucks coming closer and closer. I retreated to the bedroom. Use a quilt to block the door gap. Trying to stop the smoke from coming in. I squatted in the corner. Tears keep falling. My heart is filled with fear and helplessness. Am I going to die here? What about tomorrow's wedding? Charlie. I sob. Full of reluctance and unwillingness. The fire is still raging in the house. The flames licked everything with their fangs and claws. I'm trapped in a sea of fire. Thick smoke. I can hardly breathe. I can only make a weak cry for help. When Charlie rushed in. His face was full of determination. Don't be afraid. Amy. I'm here, he shouted. Grab my hand. Trying to lead me to a way out. However. The fire is getting more fierce. The retreat has been blocked. As we searched for another exit. The beams above my head are shaking under the burning fire. Watch out, Charlie yelled. Keep me tight under you. With a loud bang. Beams fall down. He groaned. One leg was ruthlessly pressed. I am extremely anxious. Want to push open the beam. But I can't do anything. Charlie. How are you? I asked in a crying voice. I'm fine. You go quickly. He gritted his teeth and said. There are beads of sweat on my forehead. Still trying to push me. But the fire was raging. There's no room for us to move anymore. Final. I gradually lost consciousness in the thick smoke and fire. All I heard was Charlie's desperate cry. When Charlie woke up in the hospital and learned that I had died. Clutching the sheets tightly. Empty and hopeless eyes. Why couldn't I save her? He roared. Tears welled up in my eyes. That night. He sat alone in the ward. Looking out the window at the endless darkness. Once black hair. They turn white one by one. It seems that the pain in my heart has turned into this silver hair. He is full of regret. If I were stronger. If the danger could be discovered earlier. If but this world. No ifs, only endless grief and self-blame for losing a loved one. I slowly woke up from the chaos. Memories of past lives flooded my mind like a tide. When the consciousness is completely clear. I was shocked to find that I had been reincarnated as the daughter of the Zhang family. Looking at everything strange and new around me. My heart is filled with thoughts and concerns for Charlie. From babbling to toddling. I kept repeating Charlie's name in my heart. Every stage of growth. This longing has never faded. At the age of 3. I asked the teacher in kindergarten, do you know Charlie? Loved to laugh. The teacher shook his head in confusion. I lowered my head in disappointment. At the age of 10. I stopped an old man on the street and asked him. Do you know where Charlie is? The uncle frowned and said he didn't know. I kept chasing him and described Charlie's appearance again. 15 years old. When I was chatting with my classmates at school, I couldn't help but ask if you have ever heard of the name Charlie. The students all looked confused. I sighed silently. 20 years old. I travel around during my vacation. Go to various towns and post missing person notices with Charlie's name and your contact information. Passers-by looked sideways. Someone curiously asked the little girl. Who is this Charlie to you? I answered firmly that he is the one I love most. I must find him. As time goes by, I have always been searching persistently in this vast sea of people. Don't miss any clues that may lead to reuniting with him. Even if there is little hope, the faith in my heart has never wavered. God will not let down those who work hard. I finally found Charlie's address online. I ran out of the house to find him. Don't go, come back here. My mother's sharp voice almost pierced my eardrums. I turned back suddenly, seeing her angry face, like a hen with feathers blown up. I only have one thought in my mind: I must go. I have to go find him. I ran on the road without hesitation. I can't wait to see him again. My mother chased me and shouted, "Amy, you stop. Stop now." I am Amy in this life, but deep in my soul, still has the memory of Amy in the previous life. Blazing fire. Thick smoke. The fire on my wedding night took my life as Amy. And he, my childhood sweetheart Charlie, to save me. Lame leg. Black hair turns white. How could I fail him? Running and running. In a narrow, dark alley, I saw that familiar figure again. He is thinner than I remember. The hair also turned frosty. Limping and walking with a cane. Every step is like stepping on my heart. And now the mother caught up. Suddenly he stood in front of me and yelled, "Follow me back." "Mom." I tried to explain, but was rudely interrupted by her mother. "Explain what? Explain what? Look at him like that. A lame old man. So much older than you. Do you want to be laughed at to death?" My mother pulled my arm. I wish I could drag me home. I shook her hand off. Walked towards him without hesitation. He didn't seem to notice me. Head down. The back reveals endless loneliness. I took a deep breath. Shouted Charlie. He stopped. Turn around slowly. The eyes are full of doubts. The years have left deep marks on his face. The once high-spirited young man. Now he is a sad and depressed uncle. But even so, I recognized him right away. "My Charlie. Do you know me?" he said hesitantly. Low and hoarse voice. "Have you forgotten that when we were little, we went to the back hills to pick wild fruits together? You broke your leg. Did I carry you down the mountain?" I stared into his eyes. Said word by word. "Besides the jade pendant with the letter A engraved on it that you gave me. Do you remember?" His pupils shrank suddenly. Look at me in disbelief. As if I saw a ghost. I continued, "I am Amy. Amy." His lips trembled slightly. Seems to want to say something. But I can't say it. I took a step forward. Hold his hand tightly. His hands are cold. Rough. But it makes me feel extremely at ease. "Charlie," I choked. "I can't speak anymore." He looked at me. Complex eyes. There is shock. Have doubts. There is still a trace. Unspeakable pain. He opened his mouth. "You are really Amy." His voice trembled. "I can't believe what I see." I nodded vigorously. Tears blurred my vision. "It's me. Charlie. I'm back." He grabbed my arms. His eyes were filled with excitement and disbelief. "It's really you. How do you?" He looked me up and down. Young face. She looks exactly like the bright fiancé in my memory. I tried to force a smile. "I don't know either. But I'm really back." I put my hand into the collar. Pull out a thin silver chain. A small jade pendant. It was he who carved it himself. The jade pendant with the letter A engraved on it that you gave me. This jade pendant. I found it on my way to school when I was a kid. I always wear it close to my body. Even in the fire. Miraculously, it was preserved. See the jade pendant. The last trace of doubt in his eyes disappeared. Instead, there is deep sadness and tenderness. "Amy," he whispered my name. Red eyes. That moment. I feel that these 20 years. It seems that everything is concentrated in this moment. I threw myself into his arms. Hold him tightly. Feeling his thin body. Feeling his familiar breath. "Charlie. I miss you so much," I choke up. Crying like a baby in his arms. "Amy. What are you doing?" Mother's sharp voice sounded again. Broke this brief warmth. She rushed over. Pull me away from Charlie's arms. Pointing at Charlie's nose, he called him a cripple. "Stay away from my daughter." I struggled to get back to Charlie. But was held tightly by the mother. "Mom. What are you doing?" "He is Charlie. Be mine. Your what? Your childhood sweetheart, your lover from your past life. Stop dreaming. He is so much older than you. Another cripple. You are with him. How can I have a good life? My mother was so angry that her face turned pale. Pull my arm and walk back. Come home with me and I'll lock you up today. See if you can escape. I turned back, watching Charlie standing there. His eyes were filled with helplessness and pain. I shouted his name, Charlie. Charlie. I won't give up. Struggling to break free from the shackles of the mother. Stumbled back to Charlie. He still stands there. The lonely figure looks particularly lonely in the sunset. I don't care about my mother's roar. Hug him. Tears blurred my vision again. Charlie. Don't listen to my mother. I love you. I just want to be with you. He patted me on the back gently. Amy's voice is low and hoarse. We can't. Why is it just because of a few words from my mother? We grew up together. After going through so much. Have you forgotten everything? I raised my head, looking at him with tears in his eyes. There was a flash of pain in his eyes. Reaching out and stroking my hair. No. Amy. I'm not worthy of you. I don't care that you're 25 years older than me. I don't care about you. I choked. Can't say the word lame. He smiled bitterly. Push me away gently, Amy. Obedient. Go back. You are still young. There should be a better life. I don't want it. I shake my head stubbornly. Grab his clothes tightly. Charlie. Do you remember when we were little? We climbed trees and robbed bird nests together in our previous life? Let's go fishing together. Together. I began to recall the good old days when we were childhood sweethearts. Those sweet memories are like a knife now. It hurts my heart badly. We used to love each other so much. Now we have to face such a cruel reality. Amy, he whispered my name. Eyes full of pain. Charlie. Let's start over, okay? Just like before. I looked at him expectantly. He shook his head. There is helplessness and pain in his eyes. There is no going back. Amy. There's no going back. Just then, my father suddenly appeared in front of me. He stared at me angrily and seriously. No words spoken. Dad, I called out timidly. Come home with me. My father's voice was cold and firm. I stand still stubbornly, refusing to move a step. Your father's face turned pale. Look at what you look like now, for a cripple. You don't even want a home anymore? Dad. I love him. I don't care if he is crippled. I want to be with him, I shouted. Tears can't stop flowing. The father was so angry that he was shaking all over. You are unreasonable. He is so much older than you. Another cripple. Social opinion will not allow you to be together, do you understand? People around us started pointing fingers at us. I feel my face burning. I don't care, I want to be with him. I still stubbornly repeat this sentence. My father saw that I was so stubborn. Come forward and grab my arm. Pull it out hard. Let go of my dad. You hurt me and I struggled. But to no avail. Come home with me, my father roared. Charlie, I called him desperately. He threw away the crutches in his hand. I was stunned. My father was also stunned. His originally hunched body now stood straight. As if it contains a huge power. He limped slowly toward us. Looking at my father firmly. The tone was surprisingly calm. Uncle, I know what you're worried about. Amy is still young. I do have many shortcomings. But I love her. I will love her for the rest of my life. To protect her. I will work hard. Make yourself worthy of her. Please believe me. His words speak loud and clear. Like a stone thrown into a calm lake. It caused ripples. I've never seen him so determined. So powerful. My heart. Surrounded by a warm current. Full of hope. My father's expression softened a little. For a moment I didn't know what to say. I held Charlie's hand with joy. Fingers interlocked. As if holding the whole world. Standing beside. A passerby with a gloomy face suddenly spoke up. There was a hint of sarcasm in his tone. Lame. You are an old cow wanting to eat young grass. A toad wants to eat swan meat. You, an old gray-haired man, should stop wasting her beautiful daughter. The passerby brother hasn't finished speaking yet. Charlie glared at me. That look. I've never seen. Full of anger and warnings. The passerby shut up angrily. The atmosphere suddenly became awkward. My father coughed lightly. Breaking the silence, Charlie. Don't believe my daughter's lies. She is only 20 years old. It's not the reincarnation of your dead fiancé at all. Now I want to take my daughter home. Do you mind stopping me? My father came forward and grabbed my arm. Charlie smiled at me tenderly. Then slowly loosened his hand. I stared at him reluctantly. Helplessly being dragged away by my father. The mother gave him a disgusted look. Then he followed me and my father and left together. After arriving home, my parents gave me a lecture. I sat on the sofa in the living room. Ignore. No refutation. Let them chatter. I understand that the age gap between me and Charlie after my reincarnation is too big. And he's a cripple. But his leg was injured while saving me. After a few days, when my parents' anger had subsided, I sneaked out to find Charlie again. But he heard his parents' fierce scolding at the door of his house. Charlie's father's voice was deep and angry. Are you crazy? You are 45 years old. How can you be with a 20-year-old girl? How can we, the Charlie family, be so shameless? Charlie stood there silently with his head down. Charlie's mother's sharp voice also rang out. She is so much younger than you. It's obvious that we're after your money. Although our family isn't rich. But I can't let this kind of woman in. My steps stopped. My heart feels like being poured with cold water. A chill spread from the soles of my feet to my entire body. Turn out to be. I thought happiness. In their eyes. But it's so unbearable. I took a deep breath. I mustered up the courage to open the door. Charlie saw me. There was a flash of surprise in his eyes. Then peace returned. His parents glared at me. His face immediately darkened. I held back my tears. Walk up to Charlie. Hold his hand, Charlie. I love you. I'm not with you for the money. I don't care about anyone's opposition. Us. I haven't finished speaking yet. Charlie's mother rudely interrupted him and said, Get out of here. You are not welcome in our house. Charlie's father also had a dark face. No words spoken. I looked at Charlie. I hope he can say something. Even if it is just a simple maintenance. But he just kept silent. Let his parents sneer at me. My heart sinking down little by little. I felt his hand in my palm, getting colder. I endured the grievance and disappointment in my heart. Look at Charlie again. My eyes are full of hope and love. Charlie. I love you. My voice is trembling a little. But still firm. Charlie looked at me. Eyes full of emotion and tenderness. He stroked my hair gently. I can feel the warmth of his fingertips. And the trembling of his palms. He opened his mouth. Seems to want to say something. However, he finally just closed his eyes in pain. Push my hand away. Sorry. Amy. His voice is hoarse. Every word pierces my heart like a knife. We can't go back to the past. It's impossible in this life. I was stunned. It's like a basin of ice water poured over my head. Cold all over. Charlie's eyes were full of pain and helplessness. Deeply imprinted in my mind. What he said. Impossible. Why? I almost cried out. But my throat seems to be blocked. Can't make any sound. He slowly. I said word by word that I can't hold you back. My family won't accept you anymore. You should leave now. I looked at him in disbelief. Tears finally burst out. Blurred my vision. He pushed me out the door. Then bang. Closed the door. I'm standing outside the door. Let the tears flow freely. Heartbroken. I tightly grasped the hand that he pushed away. As if I can still feel his remaining warmth. What do I do? Our future. Where to go from here? I wandered around his door in despair. Night wind. Getting colder. A familiar voice sounded behind the girl. It was Jane. Charlie's neighbor. I wiped away my tears. Forced a smile. She asked me what was wrong with concern. I shook my head. I don't want her to worry. Jane sighed. Patted my shoulder. Talk about children. Go back. Don't stand here. Strong wind at night. It would be bad if you caught a cold. I nodded. Turn around and leave slowly. In my previous life I had a very good relationship with Jane. Although she doesn't know that I am the reincarnation of Amy. But I still listened to her advice. I walked aimlessly. Charlie's resolute words filled my mind. Impossible. Why not? Could it be that our 25 years of love in our previous life? Is it not as good as a few words from his parents? The night is getting darker. There is a depressing atmosphere around. Sudden. A pungent burning smell came. I looked up. A house not far away was on fire. The fire spread very quickly. Thick smoke. Half the sky is red. My heart tightened. Isn't that the direction of Jane's house? I ran towards the fire desperately. There were panicked cries for help from inside the house. A lot of people have gathered around. But they are afraid of fire. Don't dare to approach. I am extremely anxious. I can't care so much. Rushed into the fire. Jane. I shouted. The smoke was so thick that I could hardly breathe. I can't open my eyes. I stumbled around looking for. I just didn't see Jane. In desperation. I can only walk out with difficulty. But the fire was too big. The exit has been blocked by fire. I sat on the ground in despair. I feel like death is approaching step by step. The scene of myself being buried in a fire in my previous life appeared in my mind. Is the tragedy going to happen again? Just when I thought I was going to die in the fire, a familiar figure appeared in front of me again. Charlie. I looked at him in disbelief. He limps. Difficulty walking through the sea of fire. Come towards me. His face was full of anxiety and worry. See me. He was visibly relieved. He said nothing. Pick me up. Use your body to block the flames for me. The scorching heat burns my skin. But I don't feel any pain. Because my heart. He has been warmed. Cough cough, he coughed violently. The thick smoke made it almost impossible for him to breathe. I held him tightly. Tears can't stop flowing. How come you are here? Fool. He smiled weakly. How can I leave you here alone? I will rescue you this time. He hugged me tightly. Take me to find the exit. The fire is getting bigger. The surrounding temperature is getting higher and higher. We are trapped. Go this way, he suddenly pointed in a direction. Hoarse and firm voice. The smoke was so thick that I could hardly breathe. Everything in front of me becomes blurry. He held me tightly. I can feel his body shaking. And his rapid heartbeat. He put me in a corner. With his weak body. Build a barrier for me. Blocking the oncoming flames. Amy, his voice is very low. Very hoarse. But with a touch of tenderness I have never heard before. I regret it. I was stunned. Through the smoke. I saw the pain and regret in his eyes. What do you regret? I regret rejecting you, he said with difficulty. Every word. It's like I've used up all my strength. I'm afraid I'm not worthy of you. My heart aches. Tears welled up in my eyes again. Fool. What stupid things are you talking about? No. I'm serious. He held my hand tightly. His hands are cold. It gave me unlimited strength. I'm afraid of dragging you down, I'm afraid that you'll suffer with me. But I'm not afraid to speak out loud. Hoarseness. But extremely firm. I'm not afraid of Charlie. I love you no matter what you become. I love you. He looked at me. Eyes full of love and emotion. In this life or death moment. All the barriers and misunderstandings vanished. We hugged each other tightly. As if to merge into one. Amy, he called my name softly. The voice is so gentle that it seems like a dream talk. I love you too. I always love you. The fire is still raging. The smoke is getting thicker. We are trapped in this little corner. As if forgotten by the world. Cough cough. He started coughing violently. A mouthful of blood spurted out. Splash on my face. Bright red. Charlie, I screamed his name in horror. Hold him tight. Charlie, how are you? He smiled weakly. Touching my cheek with bloody hands. Don't worry, I'm fine. His voice is getting weaker. My eyes started to blur. I shook him hard. Charlie, you can't sleep, we still have to go out together, we still have to. He tried to open his eyes. Look at me. The corners of the mouth slightly raised. I used my last bit of strength to say to Amy, if there is a next life. His hands fell limply. I feel like my world is collapsing at this moment. No, I hold him tightly. Crying in despair. Charlie, don't leave me. Sudden. I felt his hand move. He grabbed my clothes tightly. I will definitely save you in a very weak voice. Don't be afraid. The smoke was so thick that I could hardly breathe. Tongues of fire like ravenous beasts. Licking everything around. Charlie uses his broken body. Hold me tightly under you. His back was exposed to the flames. I can even hear the sizzling sound of my skin burning. "Charlie, Charlie," I screamed with all my heart. Tears blurred my vision. He just held me tightly. "Use your weak voice to comfort me, don't be afraid. Amy. I am here. I couldn't save you last time. This time. I must protect you well." His voice is getting smaller and smaller. The breathing is getting weaker and weaker. I grabbed his hand desperately. His hands were burnt black. But still holding my hand tightly. As if to integrate me into his life. "Charlie. You hold on. Someone will come to save us." I tried to stay awake. But my voice was shaking. He smiled with difficulty. A trace of blood seeped from the corner of his mouth. "Amy, if there is a next life, He hasn't finished speaking yet. He started coughing suddenly. A mouthful of blood spurted out again. Splash on my face. Scalding. Bright red. Like a blooming flower. Charlie doesn't want me to cry out in despair. But he never responded to me again. His hand slowly loosened. Falling helplessly to the ground. His eyes slightly opened. Eyes full of love and reluctance. Final. Slowly closed. My world completely collapsed at this moment. I hugged his cold body tightly. Let the tears flow freely. My heart seems to be hollowed out. Empty. Only endless sadness and despair. "Charlie, I love you." I put my face against his cold face. Feeling his remaining warmth. Sudden. I felt a strange breath. Someone beside me said hurriedly, "Miss. We are here to rescue you. Go fast." The smoke was so thick that I could hardly open my eyes. The hot air burns my skin. I was rescued. Blurred vision. Only the noisy voices of firefighters and the piercing sirens echoed in my ears. I'm like a puppet. Let them do whatever they want. My soul seems to have gone to another world with Charlie. In the hospital. When I woke up, the nurse told me that Charlie was dead. Instant mental breakdown. I ignored the nurses' and doctors' objections. Remove the needle. Run to another ward. His body was wrapped in a white cloth. Lying on a cold bed. "Charlie. Charlie. Wake up." I ran to the bed like crazy and opened the white cloth. Shaking his body burned by fire. "Miss. Don't do this, miss. Calm down." The nurse is pulling my hand hard from behind. And I burst into tears. Crying. Gradually fainted from crying. After a week of treatment in the hospital, I was taken home by my parents. The empty room is filled with Charlie's breath. Every item I collected about him was like a sharp knife. It hurts my heart so badly. My parents came into the room and surrounded me. Their faces were filled with worry and regret. My mother held me. Amy burst into tears. "It's Mom's fault. Mom shouldn't have stopped you." My father's eyes were red. "Keep sighing." Their regrets are intertwined with my pain. Forming a huge net. Wrap me tightly. I can't breathe. They no longer object to my relationship with Charlie. But what's the point of all this? Charlie is gone. He left me forever. Days go by. I'm like a zombie. Eat and sleep mechanically. Indifferent to everything around. I often stare out the window in a daze. It seems that I can still see his familiar figure. Hear his gentle voice. I picked up Charlie's photo. Gently stroke his face. Tears blurred my vision again. "Charlie. I miss you so much." My voice is hoarse. My heart is broken. Days go by. I'm still in pain from losing Charlie. I often sit on the park bench where we sat together in our last life. Falling leaves. Like my heart. Breaking apart piece by piece. Children playing around. Cuddling couple. Is happy. I am the only one who is lonely and sad. The world is so noisy. My world is silent. Only endless gray and despair. Jane was not home that night. Fortunately, he escaped the fire. Later, Jane saw that I was depressed. I came to visit with a basket of fruit. She sat on the sofa in the living room and sighed at me. "Amy. You go on like this. Charlie won't be at peace in heaven." She talked about Charlie's life. How much he cherishes me. How I wish I could be happy. I listened numbly at first. Tears wet my cheeks unconsciously. Jane held my hand. I choked up and said that day. He also told me. "I want to take you to the beach to watch the sunrise. Charlie wants to take me to see the sunrise." This thought is like a flash of lightning. Cut through the darkness deep inside me. I suddenly remembered what Charlie once said. His biggest wish is to grow old with me. Watching the sunrise and sunset. Counting the passing years. And now. He left. I'm still alive in this world. Am I going to let him down? Do I want him to worry about me in heaven? No. I can't keep sinking like this. Charlie died saving me. I must live well. To see the prosperity of this world for him. Let him experience this wonderful life. I wiped away my tears. Take a deep breath. Tell Jane not to worry. I will be strong and brave. Thank you, Jane, for your concern. Jane looked at me with relief and smiled. From now on, I decided to carry Charlie's love and expectations. Restart my life. I found a job. Try to keep yourself busy. I started attending some social events. Learn to communicate with others. Learn to smile. Time flies. After 10 years of hard work, I became a business owner. One day, I stand in the sun. A well-tailored business suit. Holding a brand new briefcase. I'm not here to discuss business. But as the founder of the Charlie Foundation. Come and donate to this orphanage. Name of the foundation. In memory of him, Charlie. And my name in my previous life. Amy. I forced myself not to think about him. Don't think about those painful memories. Focus all your energy on your work. Over the past 10 years. I almost became a workaholic. Only this. I can stop thinking about him. Only in the dead of night. Not to be swallowed by longing. The dean received me warmly. Taking me to visit the orphanage. The children looked at me curiously. Clear eyes full of curiosity. I tried to force a smile. Say hello to them. When I walked to the playground. I was suddenly stunned. A little boy about 10 years old. Sitting on the swing. Looking at the sky silently. That thin figure. That sad look. Looks like Charlie when he was a kid. My heart trembled. An inexplicable sense of familiarity came over me. The dean followed my gaze. He smiled and said that the child was abandoned at the door of the orphanage as soon as he was born. He had a letter C embroidered in his swaddling clothes. So I named him Charlie. A very well-behaved and sensible child. I just don't like to talk much. Charlie. My breath is choking. The name. Like a thunderbolt. Exploding in my ears. My previous life name. Charlie's name. Could it be? Is this just a coincidence? I walked towards him step by step. The heart is beating violently in the chest. He seemed to notice my approach. Slowly turn your head. A pair of clear eyes. Looking at me quietly. That look. And Charlie's eyes. So similar. As if transcending time and space. Reunited with my former lover. You called me Charlie and my voice trembled. I could hardly believe my ears. He nodded. The corners of the mouth slightly raised. Showing a faint smile, sister. Hello. My name is Charlie. That moment. I seemed to see the shadow of Charlie. Reappear in him. We smiled at each other. An indescribable warmth. Flowing slowly in my heart. Perhaps. This is fate. I started going to the orphanage more frequently. Every time I see Charlie. My heart feels like it's being tightly grasped by an invisible hand. Breathing becomes tense. The face that looks like Charlie. Those clear eyes. Reminds me of the past all the time. In the dead of night. I often hide in my bed and cry secretly. Tears soaked the pillowcase. It also soaked my broken heart. I hate myself. I hate myself for not being able to forget him. I hate myself for having to fall into this painful memory again and again. Charlie seems to like me. Always by my side. Sweetly call me Sister Amy. His tiny figure. Childish voice. Like a ray of sunshine shining into my dark world. He will hold my hand. Tell me about interesting things in school. Will send me the finished painting. When I'm sad. With his chubby little hands he gently wiped my tears. His innocence and kindness. Like a clear spring. Washing away the pain in my heart. I began to crave this feeling of being needed. This feeling makes me feel that I am no longer alone. It made me feel the beauty of life again. I bought him new clothes, new shoes, and a new school bag. Tell him a story. Play games with him. Take him to the playground. Looking at his happy smile. I seem to have returned to my carefree childhood. I know. I do this. Partly because he looks like Charlie. But I prefer to believe. I really like this kid. I like his understanding. I like his cuteness. I like the warmth he brings me. One afternoon, I took Charlie to the park. He sits on the swing. I pushed him gently. Sunset. The golden afterglow sprinkled on his face makes him look more like Charlie. I looked at him. My eyes gradually become blurred. It seems like I have returned to many years ago. A scene of Charlie and I playing in the park. Sister Amy. Charlie suddenly called me. Interrupted my thoughts. Why do you always stare at me blankly? I came back to my senses. I forced a smile, didn't I? I just think you're cute. Then why do you always sigh? He tilted his head. Asked me innocently. My heart sank. Does he know something? Charlie. I squatted down. Look at him. Do you want to know where your parents are? He was stunned. Then he lowered his head. The dean's grandmother whispered. My parents went to a faraway place. Do you want to know where they went? I continued to ask. He raised his head. Look at me. Eyes full of desire. I took a deep breath. Stroking his head. Said sister will help you find. Okay. He nodded vigorously. A bright smile appeared on his face. That moment, I made up my mind. We must find out Charlie's background. Perhaps this will clear up my doubts. The next day, I went to the orphanage. Found Dean Emma. Emma Dean. I asked straight to the point. I want to know about Charlie's background. Can you tell me something about it? Dean Emma put down the documents in her hand. Look up at me. There was a hint of hesitation in his eyes. Dean Emma pushed her reading glasses on her nose. Sighed and said. Charlie, this kid. His life story is quite pitiful. He was only 1 year old when he was abandoned in an orphanage. No identification on me. We don't know who his parents are. So there is no clue at all? I asked. I feel uneasy. No clues at all. Dean Emma shook her head. The surveillance video at the door happened to be broken that day. I didn't capture who put the child on the steps of the orphanage. Dean Emma's answer made me even more confused. A 1-year-old child. How come there is no identification information? This is so unreasonable. I always feel that things are not that simple. Charlie's appearance. Maybe it's no accident. A strong intuition tells me. Between Charlie and Charlie, there must be some connection. As soon as this thought came up, like weeds growing wildly, spreading in my heart, I can't imagine. If this is true, what that means. I suppressed my excitement. Pretending to be calm, he thanked Dean Emma. Then I left the orphanage. I need to calm down. Think carefully about what to do next. Although Dean Emma did not reveal any useful information. But I started asking around. Ask friends to find connections. Hope to find some clues about Charlie. I even went to the police station. I hope to retrieve the surveillance video from that time. But all to no avail. Charlie. Wait for me, I'm chasing the little figure. Walking through the busy streets. Hope and fear are intertwined in my heart. Charlie. Who are you? The investigation has reached a deadlock. Government archives hospital records. Any information that may involve Charlie. It's like being shrouded in a layer of fog. I can't open it. I have entrusted countless relationships. Even hired a private detective. But the response I got was the same, no such person found. A feeling of powerlessness came over me like a tide. Almost drowning me. Did Charlie really appear out of thin air? No history. I rubbed my temples in annoyance. I accidentally walked into a remote alley on the outskirts of the city. The dilapidated brick wall is covered with moss. There is a faint musty smell in the air. I was about to turn around and leave. But I caught a glimpse of a hunched figure sitting deep in the alley. That's an old man. Wearing old clothes that have been washed white. Gray hair. The face is covered with deep wrinkles. He lowered his head. Seems to be taking a nap. I hesitated. Still walked over. Elderly. Are you okay? I asked softly. The old man slowly raised his head. A gleam of light flashed in the cloudy eyes. He looked at me steadily. See through my soul. Half a while. He said in a hoarse voice, "You are finally here." I was stunned. This sentence. It's like he's been waiting for me. Does he know about Charlie? My heart was shocked. An inexplicable premonition came to my mind. I am far from the truth. Getting closer. Do you know me? I asked tentatively. The old man didn't answer my question. Just stretch out your skinny hands. pointing to a dilapidated hut deep in the alley. Let's go in. The child is waiting for you. Child. Could it be Charlie? My heart is pounding. Almost jumped out of my throat. I took a deep breath. Walked towards the hut. In the dim hut. The air is so stuffy that it's hard to breathe. Dust flying in the light. Falling on the worn-out tables and chairs. A thick layer of. The old man motioned for me to sit down. Then he took out a cloth bag from his arms. Open carefully. Inside is an old jade pendant. Emerald green. Emitting a faint fluorescent light. He stroked the jade pendant. There is a hint of complex emotions in his eyes. Like a recollection. It seems like regret. I want to know the child's background. You have to promise me one condition. The old man finally spoke. The sound is as hoarse as sandpaper. My heart tightened. Really? It's not that simple. What are the conditions? I can't wait to ask. There was a barely perceptible tremor in the voice. The old man did not answer directly. Just hand the jade pendant to me. You take this. Tomorrow midnight. Come to the abandoned factory in the west of the city. I'll be there for you. Remember. Only you come alone. I looked at the jade pendant. Hesitated. My intuition tells me. There must be some secret hidden in this. A possible background related to Charlie. Even the secrets that are closely related to my own destiny. I want to reach out and take it. But it stopped in midair. Why should I trust you? I asked cautiously. The heart is full of contradictions and struggles. The old man smiled. The laughter is desolate and sad. You have no choice. If you want to know the truth, you must do as I say. He paused. There was a subtle gleam in his eyes. Or you can choose to give up. Living forever in the fog. His words are like a thorn. It pierced my heart deeply. Give up. How is it possible? I tried my best. Isn't it just to find out Charlie's background? I took a deep breath. Finally, I took the jade pendant. Cold to the touch. An inexplicable force spread throughout the body along the fingertips. Good. I promise you. I said. Firm and resolute tone. The old man nodded. The wrinkles on my face seemed to be getting deeper. Remember. Tomorrow midnight. Abandoned factory in the west of the city. Don't be late. I hold the jade pendant tightly. Turned and left the hut. Out of the alley. Looking back. But found that the old man had disappeared. Only that dilapidated little house. Standing quietly in the darkness. Like a silent watcher. Guarding the secret behind it. Abandoned factory in the west of the city at midnight. Spooky. Howling wind. The fallen leaves on the ground rustle. Like a ghost's whisper. I hold the jade pendant tightly. Cold palms. Heartbeat. The old man is already waiting there. His figure seemed particularly tall in the dim moonlight. Like a messenger from hell. You are here. His voice is low and hoarse. Like it was squeezed out from deep in the throat. I nodded. Pretend to be calm. Speak. What is Charlie's background? The old man was silent for a moment. Then slowly open your mouth. Girl. Do you believe in reincarnation? I was stunned. I don't understand why he asked this question. Charlie, he is an old man, paused. A complex emotion flashed in his eyes. He is the reincarnation of Charlie. My brain buzzed as if something exploded. Charlie. My past life lover. How is this possible? I know it's hard for you to accept. But that's the truth. The old man sighed. He was burned to death in order to save you. The soul has been wandering in the world and finally attached to this child. But he has no memory of his past life. I stood there blankly. It feels like the whole world has turned upside down. I held the jade pendant tightly, tears silently falling. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Suddenly I remembered Charlie. That sweet and sensible boy. The boy with the same eyes as my lover in my previous life. Charlie, I muttered to myself. An indescribable feeling welled up in my heart. Girl, I know you have a lot of questions in your mind. But that's all I can tell you. You and Charlie stay together forever because of your deep love for each other. So fate will bring you together for the third time. The old man looked at me with pity in his eyes. Take good care of him. You owe him this. I took a deep breath. Wipe away your tears and look up at the old man. I will. The old man nodded, turned around and disappeared into the darkness. I stood there for a long time and couldn't calm down. Charlie, my love, you are back. I turned and walked out of the factory. Suddenly a cold wind blew through the jade pendant in my hand, emitting a faint fluorescence. I took a deep breath. I swear I owe Charlie this life. I will give all of them back to his reincarnation, Charlie. I rushed to the orphanage immediately. Charlie sat by the window again, looking at the outside world with a hint of loneliness in his eyes. See me. His eyes lit up. Run over. Hold me tight, Sister Amy, you are here. I fumbled to open the bedroom door. Heat wave is coming. The living room is already a sea of fire. The flames jumped wildly, devouring furniture and curtains. From today on, I am his family. I negotiated with Dean Emma. Decided to adopt Charlie. Take him home and take care of him. I want to give him the best education and the best life to make up for what I owed Charlie in my previous life. Charlie also became very dependent on me. Every time he saw me, he would affectionately call me Sister Amy. Elder sister. A sour sweetness welled up in my heart. It's like going back to my past life, back to the time I was with Charlie. As the days passed, life seemed to have returned to its peaceful track. This is a new beginning. The beginning of happiness. Charlie goes to school. He jumped into the school excitedly carrying his new school bag. I'm standing at the school gate, looking at his small back. Heart full of hope.